just take each day as an opportunity to get better.
Mark Spears, back left.
Mark Spears, ESPN. Steph, LeBron James said today that he plans on, he respects Colin, but he plans on standing for the national anthem. When you guys play on Saturday, what do you plan to do? And also, do you have any kind of relationship with Kaepernick? Have you talked to him? Any conversations you guys have had?
I plan on standing. But like I said, there are ways that everybody, can affect the mindset of people around them and the awareness of what's going on without having, without in that moment with the national anthem playing, kneeling. Like I said, I've always said I respect Colin because he took a bold step in that regard to start or continue the conversation and make it more pointed. But I do plan on standing. I don't have a relationship with him. I've actually never. I met him once when I went to a game about 3 years ago. But I, like most people in the country now, would love to sit down and talk to him to kind of understand his thought process more in detail, how he got to the decision of how he was going to go about his protest and understanding it more fully, and the ideas that he may have based on who he's talked to, based on situations that he's been in to help affect change, because I'm sure he does have some fantastic ways of taking advantage of the moment, for sure.
Another question for Tim here, right side.
Steph, over here, sorry. You were saying before how it feels a little different how this July felt different than the prior one, obviously. With the way things went this summer, it kind of almost gotten forgotten, I think, by a lot of people, that the way the finals went. How much is that kind of stuck with you for the last couple months, and how much is that going to fuel what you guys are trying to do this season?
You said people forgot?
Say that it's gotten a little. I think if you guys hadn't made the moves you made this summer, it probably would have gotten a little more attention. That's all.
I hear you.
I don't mean that you forgot.
No,
that was kind of what I was getting at.
I got you. I think the way we came into last season, like every year is different. So you can remember the experiences, but you can't let that affect your mind, like how you prepare yourself going into this year, or how you show up to training camp day one tomorrow. I don't want to walk in the door like, all right, game 7. Like, nobody should be thinking that way. But you should remember how we felt walking off the court. You should remember all that you did all summer to get yourself into, a better position, individually and collectively, and go from there. So I know last year we weren't thinking, about being on the podium coming into a new season because we wanted to do it again. So it's just, you got to turn the page, obviously, but not forget the feelings.
Monty Poole again, right next to Tim.
Steph, we know you over here. You and KD go back a ways, but how much have you studied his game over the years? And the other part of the question is, are there parts of his game, because he's known for scoring, are there parts of his game that you think people might be a little surprised by, or at least their eyes will open up to what else he can do?
No, he's a well-rounded player. Like he does score the ball at a high rate. He can do it all sorts of different ways. But in our offense, the way that we've gotten to where we are as a team even before KD, is about ball movement, player movement, a flow and a rhythm to it. It's not a lot of standing. There's not a lot of one-on-one kind of stuff. So knowing or thinking about how he'll transition into it, that he can do all of that at a very high level. He can pass. He can move without the ball. I think he understands. He's a very high basketball IQ when it comes to where he needs to be on the floor and how he can work off other guys. And I know he just wants to play the game the right way. Hearing that come from his mouth, so that fits in right to our identity. But there's still obviously a transition when you have so much talent. You got to figure out how to blend it all. But everybody has to be, at 100% of themselves. There's no sacrifice. There's no changing your style or anything. It's just when it comes to the full picture of our team, it'll take a minute to flow.